Sometimes the jokes just write themselves, don't they? Meanwhile, Chelsea fans are dreading a potential 60 mil arrival, Mbappe lashes out at Madrid fans over Vini Jr. boos, and Barca's captain is on the move. This is DMAC Daily. Like Brahim Diaz, ironically Morocco have gone down that same path of hero to villain in an instant, because the entire football world is now united in their condemnation of Morocco's national team for their antics, for their shameless behavior caught live in 4K cheating, literally assaulting a goalkeeper with their ball boys. Yes, you heard that right, assaulting one of Senegal's professional players at a major tournament final as the host nation. It's just so unbelievably disgraceful. But this goes well beyond the ball boys' behavior too. Make no mistake, this was a collective effort from the entire Moroccan Football Federation, all the way down to several members of the national team. In the semi-final, a stadium member stole the Nigerian goalkeeper's towel on multiple occasions. Then, in the final, alongside the ball boys, Ismail Saibari, who was supposed to be on the bench, was seen on video trying to block Senegal's second choice keeper Yehvan Diouf from giving Mendy his towel. Now, for those still maybe wondering why the whole towel fixation in the first place, well, to put it simply, due to torrential rain, Senegal's keeper Mendy was constantly using a towel to dry his gloves, as it's much harder to handle the ball when wet. Appalling behavior from Saibari, but he wasn't the only one. Achraf Hakimi, the literal captain of Morocco, was also guilty of stealing Senegal's towel too. Even more comically, Morocco were then awarded the AFCON Team Fair Play Award. It's like we're living in an alternate reality. In a just world, both Hakimi and Morocco would be stripped of their awards and face actual consequences, like a significant ban for their blatant cheating. I just keep asking myself, are these individuals incapable of feeling shame? Well, the answer appears to be yes, they are, because instead, they're the ones projecting total outrage, demanding a legal probe against Senegal for their decision to walk off the pitch. Now, I will admit the actions of some of Senegal's fans to fight the stadium security and attempt to invade the pitch is objectively reprehensible behavior. It's indefensible, but Senegal's actions on the pitch, with all the necessary context at play, were, in my opinion, understandable. As mentioned in yesterday's ep, the entire team were put in danger whilst traveling to the final. That alone could have been a catastrophic outcome. They had insufficient hotel accommodation, training facilities, and then had to deal with all of Morocco's antics, plus the VAR refereeing debacle at the peak of the final. So storming off the pitch wasn't a righteous act, but on a human level, I can recognize how they'd be feeling in that insanely tense moment. I assume Senegal's coach will face a heavy ban. It's very clear that FIFA aren't operating in a neutral manner. FIFA's president Gianni Infantino made a post on social media where he only condemned Senegal's actions, no mention of Morocco's behavior whatsoever. Typical FIFA, just being transparently immoral. I'd expect nothing less, but to be honest, this entire ordeal has just been so disappointing, because outside of the final itself, this AFCON tournament was fantastic. The best AFCON of all time in terms of the state-of-the-art facilities. The hotel accommodation for 99% of the teams were phenomenal, a stark contrast to the various facilities on offer in 2023 and 2021. Additionally, all the big teams had strong performances. There was so much star power on display. There was also an array of exciting youngsters that burst onto the scene, the likes of Diomande, Ulai, Touré, Matza, Kofane, and Mbappe. There's more talent coming from this continent than ever before, and the managerial talent is similarly outstanding. All four of the semi-finalists had African managers, but instead of this recognition of how far African football has come, it's now being thoroughly overshadowed by some ugly scenes and bad faith actors too. CAF's reputation is in the gutter, as is Morocco's, and it's a massive shame because Morocco were, for so many, including myself, an inspiration in recent years. They did what no African team had ever accomplished, reaching the World Cup semi-finals. They pioneered this newfound respect for African football. It made us all believe that maybe one day an African team could win it all. Moving over to club football, and Chelsea, aka Wonder Kid Hoarders FC, are back at it, following the sudden transfer pursuit of Stade Rennais' Jérémy Jacquet. The 20-year-old French defender has emerged as a leading target as the Blues look to fix their defensive stability mid-season. Levi Colwell's ACL has been particularly devastating for Chelsea this season, as the alternatives have been somewhat unreliable in the heart of defense. Wesley Fofana simply cannot stay healthy consistently. There's also frequent questions surrounding the futures of Badiashile Badiashile, Chalobah, Adarabioyo, and outcast Disasi. Centre-back Targa Xhaka fits the recruitment profile Chelsea's hierarchy have repeatedly leaned into. He's young and has accumulated a decent run of first-team football in Ligue 1 this season. Club sources view him as one of the best upcoming defenders in France, one that could potentially retain significant resale value. However, it is precisely this profile which has triggered significant backlash amongst Chelsea supporters. While Xhaka has impressed in Ligue 1, he's only had one full season of consistent top-flight football in a league of objectively lesser quality than the Premier League. For many fans, a fee upwards of 60 million euros seems to be a ridiculous valuation based almost entirely on projection rather than proven elite performance. This skepticism is further amplified by Chelsea's recent transfer history in regards to young French central defenders in Ligue 1. Disasi cost 45 mil, Badiashile 38 mil. Both of these players have under-delivered, and they were far more experienced than Xhaka at the time. Now, this isn't to discredit Xhaka's qualities. He may turn out to be one of Europe's finest centre-backs down the line. It's more so a criticism at Chelsea's overall recruitment philosophy, prioritizing youth and asset value over immediate reliability, particularly at a time when the team desperately needs on-pitch quality and experience to enhance their performances. Marc Guehi was available this January, a player the fanbase would have loved to see return. He was ex-Chelsea, a Cobham Academy graduate, a key international player for England, and one of the Premier League's most reliable central defenders. His price tag would have been half that of Xhaka, and at 25, he still had so much football to offer. He would have come into that Chelsea team and immediately been an upgrade. But 25 is too old, apparently, for the Chelsea hierarchy. Where's the resale value after all? Crazy stuff, but as we all know, that's not the Blue Co model. They're not focused on pursuing silverware. Ironically, they've gone down the Brighton route. Switching gears to La Liga, and Kylian Mbappe has called for unity at Real Madrid after Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham were booed by sections of the Bernabeu during Saturday's win over Levante. Speaking ahead of Madrid's Champions League phase match against Monaco, Mbappe said he understood the anger of supporters following a turbulent period that has seen Xabi Alonso sacked after the Supercopa defeat to Barca and a shock Copa del Rey exit to second-tier Albacete. However, he stressed that responsibility for recent performances is collective. If they have to boo, I understand, but they should boo the whole squad. We are all in the same situation. The forward insisted he did not sense fans turning against the team, believing their frustration would ease if results and performances improved. New head coach Alvaro Arbeloa echoed that sentiment, acknowledging the Bernabeu's demanding standards and urging his players to show greater intensity and attacking intent. Arbeloa also strongly defended Vinicius and Bellingham, both of whom have faced immense criticism for dips in form this season. He underlined Vinicius' importance in particular to Madrid's ambitions, saying, "If I want to have a chance of winning titles, I need Vinicius on the pitch." Staying in La Liga, and Barca's goalkeeper / captain Marc-Andre ter Stegen is reportedly on the verge of a surprise loan move to Girona, the La Liga club owned by the City Football Group, after falling out of favor at the Camp Nou. Ter Stegen's decline in matches has been dramatic after being named captain in August 2024 following more than 400 appearances and a haul of major honors with the club, including multiple La Liga titles and a Champions League trophy. Two serious injuries then somewhat derailed his Barca career. Since then, manager Hansi Flick has indicated that new signings Joan Garcia and Wojciech Szczesny are ahead of him in the pecking order, leaving the German with limited opportunities to play this season. West Ham were reportedly also interested in the German international, but Ter Stegen opted for a stay in Catalonia. The real question now is, can he earn his way into the German national team in time for the 2026 World Cup? That goalkeeper spot is up for grabs, and considering his previous pedigree at the highest level, who's to say he can't redeem himself in the next 6 months and beyond? I know he's come under a lot of criticism in the past few years. The slander of Ter statue is crazy work. Personally, I don't see him ever restoring his first choice status at Barca again, but 33 isn't old for a keeper. Girona could be a great temporary fit to relaunch his career at the top level. Moving to the Serie A, and it was the Nico Paz show once again today. 2 goals for the Argentine sensation away at Lazio to make it 14 goal involvements for the season in 21 Serie A games. Only Lautaro Martinez has accumulated more at this point. Ridiculous player, leading Como in both goals and assists as they push for European qualification. That partnership with Baturina is also starting to blossom. I fully expect the Croatian to take over when Paz eventually transfers this summer. This Como team team has so much insane young talent. It's a crazy squad. Speaking of squads with stacked young players, Brighton left it late today to salvage a draw at home to Bournemouth, but the goal itself was simply outrageous. 18-year-old Greek international Charalampos Kostoulis with an insane bicycle kick right into the top corner. Serious contender for a goal of the season there. Anyways, guys, that's all for today's DMAC Daily. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow.